Once hailed the best young defender in the country, Micah Richards has won 13 England caps, a Premier League title, and the FA Cup. He made Champions League appearances with Manchester City and has memories of representing Great Britain at the London Olympics. He once turned down Manchester United and Chelsea, and at 29 has seasons ahead of him. But on Tuesday he passed a remarkable 500 days since his last competitive game for Aston Villa. His £35,000 per week contract at the Championship club does not run out until 2019. So, how has it come to this? For a player of his experience and ability, it is a highly peculiar situation. Injuries have been a factor, but the defender has, for the majority, been fit and desperate to play. October 15, 2016, was the last time Richards did so competitively. He started Steve Bruce's first game in charge against Wolves, but went off with a calf problem in the 66th minute, and 73 Villa matches have subsequently come and gone without his involvement. The reasons are manifold, but the crux at present is that Bruce does not totally trust Richards to physically cope with 2 games in a week, and has therefore decided against using him at all, so the rhythm of his team is maintained. Richards has a long-standing meniscus issue in his right knee. It has become swollen through exercise in the past, but sources close to the player insist the same was true of Ledley King for a number of his peak years, and managed well it would not cause impediment to regular action. Richards trains fully each day with the first team, but were he to have games to prepare for, the sessions could be tailored accordingly. Instead, he keeps turning up at Bodymoor Heath, undertaking all that is asked of him, yet knowing his name will not feature on the team sheet when the meaningful action takes place. On Saturday, as Villa players celebrated a thrilling 4-2 win at Sheffield Wednesday that reignited ambitions for automatic promotion, Richards was not in the picture, keeping up with the score away from Hillsborough. It is a difficult space to occupy mentally, yet club insiders insist the bubbly personality we first saw when Richards excitedly swore on live television after scoring his first senior goal aged 17, a last-gasp equalizer for City at Villa, remains. He has given advice and encouragement to Villa's emerging players, such as Kynan Davis, Rushian Hepburn Murphy, Andre Green, Corey Blackett-Taylor, and Callum O'Hare. Jack Grealish has also received words of wisdom. A well-traveled source said, "He's probably the nicest player I've worked with, the staff love him. He is very popular and always has a smile on his face. But Richards is more than the joker to keep spirits up. The competitive edge that saw him rise through City's academy is also still intact, and while it is important to stress there has been no bust-up with Bruce, strong conversations have taken place. Richards understands it is of course Bruce's prerogative to pick whichever team he deems best, and Villa's position in the table is evidence of his judgment, but Sportsmail can reveal that twice in this campaign particular pressure moments have prompted personal meetings between manager and player. One came when Richards sought answers after being left out of August's Carabao Cup win over Wigan, when other fringe players were given a shop window to perform ahead of transfer deadline day. For the visit of Middlesbrough in the next round, Richards, who can operate at right back or centre back, made his only squad appearance of the season. But he remained on the bench as Bruce picked Richie Delete, Christopher Samba, Alan Houghton, and Tommy Elphick instead. That in part prompted another meeting in late autumn after Richards had featured in a number of behind-closed-doors friendlies. Richards felt it tough to commit to such training ground games when first-team chances appeared non-existent, and Bruce, a reasonable man, agreed to call a halt to them. But there was no reprieve when Bruce made 10 changes for January's FA Cup tie against Peterborough, and Richards was not among them. Sportsmail understands there isn't an economic cause for the defender's continued absence, such as to guard against hefty appearances fees, with financial fair play regulations gripping tightly. Ultimately, it just seems Villa's manager does not rate Richards enough to work through the knee issue. Micah is an absolute stick-on if he's fit, said Bruce last February. He's got the right mentality. But opinions shift, and it appears Bruce now is in the same camp as those at City who felt Richards lost a little of his athletic edge through age. Richards was an integral member of Roberto Mancini's title-winning side, playing 37 games in all competitions that season, and would regularly deliver recovery tackles to rouse supporters. Those who coached him wondered, though, if those moments made up for small tactical deficiencies that became apparent later. City moved on as a club, but Tim Sherwood certainly saw Richards' value when securing his signing on a free transfer in summer 2015. Confidence came from an opening day 1-0 win at Bournemouth. A desperate relegation followed, however, and some Villa fans still associate that hurt with Richards, who was made captain following the departure of Fabian Delph to City. In fairness, there were much more culpable villains than he that campaigned. To those who argue Richards should have left the club before now, Sportsmail can reveal that Roberto Di Matteo's intervention blocked a move to West Ham in the summer of 2016. West Ham were willing to pay Richards double his relegation-slashed wage for a season-long loan with a view to a permanent move, but Villa's then-manager wanted him as backup for Elphick and Nathan Baker. That now looks a costly call for all involved. There was interest from Orlando in January 2017, but 2 transfer windows have now passed without significant interest from a side Richards would entertain, and it is unclear where club and player go from here. By joining Fiorentina on loan in 2014, Richards has shown he is not afraid of making a bold move to get games, but such is his salary it might require an agreement with Villa's hierarchy over his remaining deal. Villa's top earners, such as John Terry, are thought to take home 70% more than Richards, but in an ironic twist his wage would almost double back to original Premier League levels were Bruce's team to gain promotion. Summer talks are planned. In the meantime, Richards will uphold his professionalism, persevere with his positive attitude, and maintain a love for the game that is not cooled despite all this time spent in deep freeze.